if you're actively dating and you can't find someone, like, I just don't believe you. Because there's so many amazing women out there. And, like, maybe that's partially the problem. There's just too many options. But then that makes you a fuckboy, okay? Because, yeah, I don't see any issues here. It's like, why are you single? It's like, either you don't actually want a relationship or you just want a dude.
You know, it's always men's fault. And this is why I try to drill this into your heads, right? Because when men actually accept this and they say, you know what, this is my fault, or this will be my fault, right? I'm not going to put myself in stupid situations. But women will also have a problem with this because you won't allow yourself to be put in stupid situations. Talking about men are down low because there's all these wonderful, amazing women out here. Well, if that's the case, then those men aren't going to be good partners, right? Because they don't know how to appreciate a good, amazing woman, right? So they're helping you. But this isn't the reason why they're single. Let's get the next one.
I finally understood why some of us girls are single. We are single because of our resting bitch face. We are single because we look very unapproachable. We are single because every time a cute guy looks at us, we look away. Because every time a cute guy smiles at us, we shy away. We don't even smile back, and it's not intentional. It's just natural instinct. We just shy away because we get nervous. But hear me out. When we don't like a guy, when we are not into him, when we don't find him attractive, we can be ourselves. We can be friendly. We can be goofy. We can be their bros, right? And then that's when they'll like start liking us, right? That's why we have the wrong guys after us, because it's the guys that we don't like. It's the guys that we see as bros. And I guess guys like bros because when you act like they're bro, they like you, right? But then the guys that you would want to be after you, they're really not, because they'll smile. They're like, you'll look away. You look very nonchalant, very unapproachable. So also these guys these days don't want to pursue, right? Like if you don't smile back and you don't look nice and friendly, they're not going to pursue you. And I totally get it. You know, if I was a man, I wouldn't want to pursue a woman or approach a woman that looks like a bitch. You know, that's kind of scary, right? So I totally get it. Even though we're not bitches, even though we're kind, we're nice, we have a good heart, we have feelings, you know, but I totally get it. So I guess moral of the story, you're either gonna have to learn to, you know, start liking one of them bros, one of those guys that you see as bros, or you're gonna learn to smile and become approachable and, you know, become welcoming. Like, stop being shy. Stop being shy. How old are you, girl? Stop being shy.
She's saying exactly what I say, but just from a woman's point of view. Either you're gonna give the guys that you don't like a chance, or you're going to cooperate with the guy that you're attracted to. This clip pretty much sums up when guys are like, yo, I think she's attracted to me. I know I'm an attractive guy, you know, but she's acting weird. You know, she was acting like she was into it, but she's not. Bro, a lot of these women, it's not anything wrong with you. They just don't know how to cooperate. She just said it. You got a bunch of guy friends. You treat them like one of the bros. They really like you, but you don't like them. They're used to it going this way. Then they get around you. They might like you, but they don't know how to act. It doesn't feel right to them. So they reject themselves. They eject out of the situation. It's nothing against you. See, women like a guy who's attractive. Yes, they will move in that direction. But a lot of times, women just mess it up because they don't know how to handle it anyway.
I don't know what this effect would be called, but I fear I have it where I happen to be a man's like last girlfriend, last fling, whatever it may be, before they find their wife and they decide to like settle down and start a family. I've just like noticed a pattern in my dating history where I think there's like 4 or 5 men now where like, you know, we casually date and then like a month later they have found the one. There was a man that I dated. Well, I dated him. I don't think he dated me, for like 2 years, and he didn't have social media. So I used to have to stalk his Pinterest to see what he was up to. One day I'm stalking his Pinterest and I see that he has a shared Pinterest board with a woman, and there is cribs inside of the Pinterest board. And that is how I found out that he found the love of his life, and within a few months they were engaged, and within a year they had a baby on the way. And I was like, well, you like couldn't even take me to dinner. another man, I only casually dated him for like 2 months, but I will say he told me he loved me on the second date. We broke up, and then a month later he got back together with his ex-girlfriend, and now they're married. The other effect that I have on men is I have an IUD, so I think that makes men, first of all, feel very safe and comfortable, if you catch my drift. But I've noticed a trend after like I date them, they date another woman, and like I have conversations with them because then they accidentally end up having a baby on accident. This has happened twice. Dated a guy twice, 2 different guys. I have my IUD, so they're like, ooh, this is the life. And then we break up, and they're like dating a girl who's on some form of birth control, not an IUD. And they're like, but she said she was on birth control. And I'm like, babe, So I think I'm going to tell myself I've helped 2 pregnancies happen as well. But I don't know. What an interesting, I'm just like, maybe don't date me or you're going to find your wife. And if you don't want to settle down, that's going to suck for you.
So basically the Trish effect, the bop effect. She's a Trish. That's all she is, because check this out, right? Women don't understand that guys are good catches even if it's not for you. And you couldn't lock one of these dudes down, so now you got to make this video to kind of sound like, you know, you helped a guy or make a joke out of it. You got your IUD, right? There's going to be plenty of guys that still want to smash raw, right? So everybody wins here. So you can continue to smash dudes raw, and then they'll move along, and then they'll find a chick that's for them. Or maybe, just maybe, you might find the guy that's for you. Only time will tell. Let's get the next one.
I am so tired of being single. It's been basically 3 years. And at this point, I truly feel like I don't even remember what being in a relationship feels like. And I know that sounds so dramatic, but I am so used to being by myself that I like can't even imagine having like a person that is just always there. And every time I complain about being single, are you on the apps? Yeah, I'm on the apps, and it's a hellscape. I truly am in a relationship with it where I just go on it, feel hopeless, and just like I give up, and then I delete it, and then I get so desperate to at least try to find the idea of someone that I re-download it. I'm literally 30 years old, and I'm getting swiped right on by men that are either of my age or older that have intimacy without commitment as their relationship preference. I genuinely feel hopeless, and I don't really care how pathetic that sounds. I give up. I haven't been looking. Everyone says, well, you shouldn't look. I haven't been looking at all. I took a break from dating for a reason. And now I'm just stuck in a drought, it seems. And I am feeling really just lost. I don't know what to do anymore. And I hate this generation.
Men are not offering her relationships at all. So how can you can't sit up here and be like, I'm so used to being alone, I don't find anybody attractive, blah, blah, blah. Ain't nobody offering you anything. See, the women that really pop their stuff, man, I got all these dudes. Dudes keep trying to take me out. Dudes are sending me money and I'm curving them. That's one thing. What you're doing here is saying, I'm good alone, but nobody's checking for you. And it's like, you know, well, I'm going to just sit over here alone. That's fine. Yo, let me ask you a question. Get in the comments and let me know. How many times do you see men getting on camera complaining about being single? Actually complaining about being single like this? Let me know. And if I'm wrong, once again, I'll correct myself. But I don't see this just constantly over and over again because it's mind-blowing to a woman. Like, I can't get a dude? Really? Yeah, you can't get a dude. And she gets on the apps and still plays games. You see how she mentioned the dudes who have casual, short-term in their bio or on their profile. Why are you talking about them? You need to be talking about the guys looking for a relationship. Oh, once again, they're not going to make the cut. So another one down of a man's indifference for the books. Let's get the next one.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but I guarantee if you sit down and actually really get to know that person, you wouldn't be so fucking obsessed with them. You see, the second you start to find somebody attractive, okay, and you're desperate to be in a relationship, to be in love, to be whatever, you're going to start projecting every fucking fantasy you have in your head about them onto them. Be like, oh, they could be this, they could be that. Oh my God, they seem like the type of person to do this. You're projecting, whatever. I need you to understand what you're doing is you're putting them on a pedestal, and they've done absolutely fucking nothing to prove that. Okay? Let them prove to you if they're worthy of your time. Let them prove to you if they're actually meant to be in your life. Not the other way around. The person who you're thinking about probably doesn't even exist. Okay? Okay? So put yourself back on the pedestal. This is your life. You get to call the shots. You get to decide who's in it or not. It's your life. And if you want this person to be in your life, okay, then they'll be in your life. Anything that's meant for you will never pass you by. Okay? I need you to understand that.
A bunch of guys hit and quit. She couldn't lock it down. So now she needs to sabotage a bunch of other women's relationships who put their men up on a pedestal, who treat their men good and get good treatment back. How does that work? See, she doesn't want you to ask why. That's why she starts the video off of, that's why she starts it the way she starts it. She doesn't start it like, this is what I've learned because I've been screwed over because men didn't want to lock it down with me. I couldn't make that happen. So now you need to understand this from my point of view. No, it's just like how she's saying it. But what happens if women treat dudes good from the beginning, put them on a pedestal even, king's treatment, and it works in their favor? Oh, well then she's a pick-me. She's a pick-misha. There's always some deflection. Because you got done dirty, because you went for your type. You didn't try to figure out if they were really for you. You didn't try to figure out anything. I'm attracted to them. My head is full of nonsense. This is why I tell you guys, don't do too much. Because when they do find you attractive, that's how it goes. They start thinking all of this stuff in their head and they're like, oh, he must be this guy. Oh, he's great at this. He must do this. I wonder if he does this. This must be great with him because of this. The moment you start doing too much, he just like the rest of them.